Hello, and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And I'm going to be ending this series for now because, oh, trust me, I am going to be spilling so much tea where if you go back to this series, it'll make sense. And that's why a lot of times when I tell my stories, I keep hopping back and forth, which, yeah, there's going to be 3 or 4 recordings that you're going to be listening to. I don't know when, but pretty soon, where you're going to be like, what in the world? Like, is she okay? And yes, I am okay. It's just while writing my novels, while creating things for my greeting cards company, and also some of the other projects I'm working on, I have, and also physical therapy and getting ready for therapy. Oh my gosh, bless her heart. Like, she's gonna, I prefer a female with some of the, especially with my dating life and the fact that I want kids, but yeah, let's just say there's a lot of things when it comes to how I was brought up that I need to come to a closure. So, yeah, when I say she, yeah, I prefer a she. So, and I want, as a goal, I want to interview and bring on therapists as well, and they can talk about some of the issues, especially within the disability community, people of color, African American, and women that other people don't bring to light or maybe don't understand. So, but also, hi, hello, how are you? Yes, like please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But if you need to wait a little bit to see what kind of tea I poured and or spill, then just take your time. And also grab a drink, grab a snack. My videos usually take around 20-30 minutes, usually closer to the 30. But I really wanted to kind of lay this down because I have been through a lot, and I know other people with undiagnosed disabilities who have told me how people blame them, point the finger at them, and ridicule them, how hard finding jobs are and dating and things like that. Because when you fill out the application, a job application, you don't know what you're diagnosed with. You don't even know that you have a disability. All of my life, I was told it is in my head. I was at the literal point where I would wake up and say, "Oh, you're such an idiot. Oh, my life sucks. Oh, I'm so stupid. I can't even walk right." And I mean, I would say other things too, but yeah, those were common ones. And this is because the doctors ignored me. They would not. And people would keep telling me, then go to a different doctor, then go to a different doctor. Usually you need a reference, or I forgot what you call it, but normally you get that through your doctor because your doctor has to see you and validate that you need that service. But my doctor refused. And my doctor would even laugh or ridicule me or tell me, when are you just going to finally pick up your feet? When are you going to actually listen to your mother? And as an adult, I'm like, how do you know I even live with my mother? How do you know to tell me to listen to my mother? And it's like there's so many ways where my doctor did not realize that I knew that she would call my mother after the age of 18. Like if I was, 16, 17, whatever, like I'm still considered a child. So if she calls, I can't say anything. But 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. 21, and she, every appointment, she's still calling my mother. And each time I'm just asking, can I get a referral? Can I go see somebody? Anybody? And when I tried to change doctors, she refused. She called my mother, and my mother said, "You better never change." Like, because my mother had a connection, she had power. My doctor and my mother combined, they had power over me. And like I said, it's like I know unforgiveness is a sin, judgment is a sin, and everything like that. But part of me just feels like, how would you feel if for over 35 years, everyone's pointing the finger at you, telling you that it's your fault, that it's in your head, that you want attention, that you'll never get anywhere in life, or no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you? And, but they're blaming you. They're blaming you. And then you're punished physically, mentally, and emotionally punished. And the doctors thinks it's funny. The doctor thinks it's hilarious. And so then I go to another doctor, which, oh, I have the screenshot of my posting, because after a few years, like, I wanted to write my thoughts about him right after I went, but I was in so much pain and I was working two jobs. Like, I was like, you know what, whatever. I just need to save enough money, because I was saving up for a mortgage. I was trying to buy a house or whatever, but part of me was just like, just focus, just focus. And I was like, the pain is in my head, the pain is in my head, even though I was in so much pain. Oh, I was in so much pain. But he just told me, go home, lose weight, shrugged his shoulders, looked at me with a funny grin and everything. And he probably read the reports from my previous doctor. I don't know for sure, but I think but even like, he was so smug. He was so smug. And he was just like, sometimes I'm just like, how do these doctors get these jobs? He is such an awful human being. And yes, I'm judging, because you don't know how much pain I was in. And just a year and a half later, I could not walk. I could not walk at all. So I'm like crying in pain in bed. I was in so much pain. But he didn't care. She didn't care. Like, none of the doctors care. Like, I went to a neurologist, one of the top neurologists in Michigan, and he just kind of smirked and laughed, like he was just like, walk it off. That was his prescription to me, was to walk it off. And to get, like, he told me to come back to see him, to see how things were going, because he says he was sure I was going to get better. So just walk it off and come back to me. Guess how long the wait list is for him? Over a year. Over a year. I think it was literally around 14 to 16 months until I got a call back to go see him again. Yay! Because I remember it was about uh, 10 or 11 months. I got a call, and the receptionist said, "Oh, well, we still have a wait, but I just wanted to check in," or it was some mess like that. Because I remember she called me right before I was teaching a night class, and I was just like, there's still a wait? I mean, I was just like dumbfounded, because I'm like, you're calling me to tell me that there's still a, like, so why did you call me then? Why did you call me then? But then when they did call me to schedule the appointment, I could no longer walk. I was in bed. I remember when the phone rang, I was in fetal position crying in bed. And I was like, hello, kind of crying. And the receptionist was like, "Oh, congratulations. You're like, we can have an appointment ready for you. Okay, so what time and date are you available for?" And I'm just like, I can't. I like, just cancel. I can't. Because she didn't, like, I had, I've I by that time I was already seeing other doctors, having x-rays, blood work, MRIs, and then it was to the point where I met up with a surgeon and she was just like, "Yeah, I think because they tried a couple different medications to see if those would work because they were guessing and they didn't, and so the surgeon was just she took one more MRI of me and she was just like, I think it was an X-ray or MRI. I've had so many, I forget which one was which or to match up. But that's when she realized, she was like, I don't even see how you walked on this knee for this long. And so I think we scheduled the surgery by that time. So I just told her, I was like, just cancel the appointment. Cancel the, like, not cancel the surgery, cancel the neurology appointment. And the woman started having attitude with me. What? Excuse me? You're going to miss your opportunity to see one of the best neurologists in the state? No, it was like, okay, let's just schedule something. And I'm like, ma'am, you have no idea what I'm dealing with. And I hung up on her. And so then she tried again and she called again. And I'm in pain in bed, and my sister is like, she heard me, and she was like, don't worry, I got this. And some people might be wondering, is this the same sister? Yes. Like, I'm going to be talking a lot about how family can split siblings apart on purpose or by mistake, or the power of parenting and how toxic it can be. Because, like, especially once she realized I was telling the truth, once she realized, like, a lot of times I was being punished and talked about and ridiculed, that it it wasn't me. It's like we finally, like, came together, and I'm it's a blessing and I'm happy, but at the same time it's sad because I'm just like, all of these years, like, we could have had this relationship. And but I just remember she grabbed that phone, the way she told this receptionist off. It was to the point where this receptionist went to the doctor and handed the doctor the phone. So then my sister is talking to the doctor, and my sister is she's telling her off, telling him and her off. But when she spoke to the doctor, she was like, "Do you understand what's going on right now? Do you know she's in bed in pain, absolute pain? Do you know all these appointments we've had to take her to? Do you know?" Like, she was like, "You have no idea." And she was just like, she said some other things, but I'm not going to say it. And nothing unchristianly. It's like, nah, it's like, we keep our Christian hats on. Sometimes I'll lay mine off, but you know, she did it in a professional but don't mess with me kind of way, And so, and this is the same doctor who, like, I forgot how many other tests, like I said, I've had so many tests. All of, like, all of the money that I saved up for a mortgage went to pay for all of these tests. And then he was the one that called me back after, like, a couple months after my surgery, and he was like, "Can we try a DNA test?" And I was just like, um, okay. But I had to pay for it out of pocket. Insurance was like, because he offered this a year ago with the MRI and blood test, but it's like, since I had to pay parts, like the other, like, I was just like, okay, let's do this one at a time. But then when the DNA testing, it was already after the appointment. And so trying to call and, like, it was so frustrating that we didn't, it's like, because he said he had to have another appointment or call me or get more information before he can go and file for the DNA test. But then all of a sudden, like, I just remember he called me asking, like, can we just do the DNA test? And I'm like, well, we can't do the appointment, but I think COVID too. So I guess it was kind of a blessing because, well, no, so COVID wasn't a blessing, but the timing of it. So or the timing of me needing it, because now I no longer needed an appointment. I didn't need to see him or talk to him. He just emailed me all of the information. I typed it all in, I paid it off and everything. And then I had to wait about 2 weeks to a month. And um, I still remember the day. I was I was in my room, or one of the guest rooms, because I was still trying to, still learning how to walk with my new knee. And since I was still wasn't diagnosed, yeah, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I remember where I was, and I remember I got a phone call. I got this phone call, and the number looked funny, but I was like, okay, let's answer it. And I just remember the tone of his voice, and he just sounded really shocked and really dumbfounded, like he surprised himself. And I don't know if he felt guilty or sounded guilty or felt bad, but the tone of his voice was so different from when he laughed at me for having darker knuckles. Yeah, this is the same doctor who would laugh at me, or he just kind of treated our appointment like it was a joke. And he told me just to walk it off. And now the tone of his voice on that phone, and he told me I to open my DNA test because he did find the result. And so I'm getting on my computer, I'm trying to figure out how to get into it. And then I read it, and I start shaking and I'm crying. I call my sister into the room, and I tell her that I couldn't even really if I knew if I spoke I was just gonna loudly cry. And so I just point at the screen, and then she looks at the screen, and I just say, all this time, no one believed me. No one believed me. And I just remember she is just in shock. And she's just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And so she asked me if I was ready to tell her dad. So we call him up. And I was too emotional. I was just because I was I think I tried to start, but I couldn't. I couldn't. And so she told him. So I because there's been other doctors in between too. Because I remember one doctor, I had she was supposed to be my normal, every year type of doctor every day if I get a cold or whatever. But when I try to tell her about every time I saw a doctor, because with the one doctor who used to call my mom after the appointments, I think I mentioned it before, but I think they fired her. I don't think she retired, because we got this letter. Oh my gosh, I don't remember shredding it or throwing it away. Oh my gosh, the day that I find this letter, I am posting it. I don't even care. I don't even care. It's I just remember that I was doctor hunting, like Elmer Fudd. It was doctor season. But every doctor kept blaming me. And that's why sometimes I wonder, is it because of what she wrote? Is it because of her telling everybody, or telling my parents, and every time I had an appointment, telling me that it's my fault, it's in my head, I'm making it up, I want attention and stuff. So, and so it's I kept switching doctors. And it was to the point where I just waited until I can go to the ER. Because I'm you know what, skip it, whatever. Or and not even for my knee. When I had an ear infection, because my no good ex, I'm but when I had the strep throat, um, and I didn't have to go that often. And that's the thing. It's I keep a pretty healthy life. I love fruit, so I was yeah, that's probably yeah, the sugar. Yeah, it's I'm thick because I love my carbs and I love my fruit. So it's and yes, I'm a thick big girl. So, and it's and oh, and that's the funny thing. I mean, I won't get too much into weight this episode, but I will be covering it. But it's just really ironic with the jerk who told me to just go home and lose weight. And I think he would probably be considered obese on the meter, and everything. And then he's a lot older. Like, sometimes I just wondered, it's like, at that young of an age, and yes, I'm not skinny, but I wasn't like just crazy fat or anything. It's like, how come everyone is blaming me or blaming my weight, or like just, or telling me to walk it off? How? To me, that just doesn't make any sense. And then after some of the MRIs, doctors would be just like, oh, it's normal, it's your fault. Oh, the blood work, oh, it came back normal. See, because I think even with one of the top neurologists in Michigan, after the MRIs and everything, he was just like, oh, see, everything came back normal. It's in your head. You're making it like, and, but then with that DNA test, oh, that shut him up. That shut him up. So, I've got a lot to think about. And especially like when I write my characters, I add some of my trauma, some of my drama, especially when it comes to dating and family and so-called fake friends and trauma, because I've been through it. Some people accused me of lying for so many years. And at one point, I mean, there were some things that happened or did, like, in my life. Yeah, to my mom, I'm like, I might as well lie. You call me a liar. You call me a liar. So why why waste my time? It's like you're not gonna believe like what happened anyway. And there's some things where, well, I mean, I have three sisters, so, but there were some times where, some sisters would make it look like I did it on purpose because I'm the liar, right? So if it looked like I did it, and if I'm a liar, then I did it. So, uh, siblings, right? But I'm over, like, that just helped me learn how to be petty and creative, and it helped me learn how to watch my back more. And that's why I have so many screenshots and evidence. And I've already had some people that I know say, "Oh, you faked that screenshot. You faked this or pretended this." And I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I fake a screenshot with a guy calling me a slave or the N word or the B word or the C word or any of the other awful words, or the R word, or even the C word with the CRIP, like, yeah, the one where disabilities, yeah. Why on earth would I do that on purpose? I'm not, like, some people think I'm desperate, and I'm like, no. I just want to show the world how dark and awful some people are. And if you think I'm making it up, then I don't know what to tell you. And I only see the dark side of people because after so long of settling, everybody telling me I don't deserve the best or good or decent, so I always dated right before decent. I'm tired of it. And now guys see my profile or see me or whatever, and they they attack me like wolves almost, in a literary, or, well, not even literary one. They're The word usage and everything is quite horrid. I know my grammar isn't great, but at least I have vocabulary. But anyway, the doctors are my villains. I know some people, like, I did mention my mother, but I also mentioned my university. I did mention kind of so called friends. I'm going to get back to that because, yeah, there's a lot of fake friends that I've had over the years. And then ex boyfriends. Oh, I have so many stories on that. Because I've had guys pretend that they didn't care about how I walked because they thought I would be so desperate to be with them. And some thought, oh, I'm just going to trick her or love bomb her until I can get her in bed or whatever. And it was just, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And if they didn't get what they want or whatever, because some of them, if they didn't get it or get like whatever, oh, you no good cripple, like you no good. It's like that's like why you think someone's gonna want you or like you? It's like I'm all you can get. You should be thankful. You should be thankful to have someone like me that will tolerate how you walk and all this other stuff. And but now I'm so happy that yeah, I still ended up in toxic situations, but not that toxic. I didn't jump into the swamp. Ugh. And some of these men on Sunday mornings sit in the front row of church. Yes, these are Christian men who say, yeah, and that's why it's like, yeah, yeah, I'm going to be talking a lot about the church. But anyway, thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human. Please check out my books, and soon I will be saying check out my greeting cards and my novel and my candles and other things. So, oh, I'm so excited. But also, just know, yeah, I'm spilling a lot of tea, but I know I need to tell my truth, my story, because I hear from a lot of people with disabilities on different social networks, and they tell me about the heartbreak and how some of their parents are judging them or punishing them or name calling, and it's disgusting. We don't deserve that. And some people like okay, this is specifically towards Republicans. If you're going to say all lives matter, what about the disability community? Because if you're going to vote for somebody who told, I believe it was his nephew, what he can do with his son, go look that up. Go look that up. But then you're going to say, still have the nerve to say all lives matter when some people like talk about how people with disabilities are late, like, oh, I can go on for days, but I can't. I only have a couple more minutes. But if you're somebody who tries to accuse people with disabilities with being lazy and not wanting to do anything, or just the list goes on, because I've been accused of all of it and more, just know that we're fighting an emotional battle that you would never dream of or know of, and also a physical battle of, and sometimes we have to figure out how we can do some of the same things as you. So please be empathetic and kind and understanding. That's what will help at least the community in our planet a little bit more heart. So thank you. Have a great day. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my books, and I will have activity books soon too. Yeah, let's just say I meant to have it ready for Halloween, but yeah, health insurance and like disability life is frustrating. Okay, yeah, bye.